World Cup or the Super Bowl? What's bigger?
I mean, you have a cup and a bowl. Typically, a bowl is a little bit larger than a cup, but it depends on what type of cup you got. If it's like a 50
You
ounce
just
cup, that could be pretty big.
you just started out this video on the wrong foot.
Football?
Okay, yeah, football, the battle of the footballs.
Yes,
Who's gonna win?
who's the true football?
How much? I know like the World Cup like overall gets just like insane amount of views over like the whole tournament. But like what does like the championship actually get? I guess in this video we're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of football and football, both of them. So honestly, whatever happens, it's cool. But just seeing the like international influence the World Cup has. Where were we? I don't remember. We saw the
Vietnam.
Vietnam in the airport. Everyone was waiting for different flights, and we were at the gate, and they were playing the World Cup, and just like everyone grouped together, they were either fans for France or Argentina, and there was
All different peoples from all different countries
yeah,
too.
just European people, Asian, from Vietnam or from Philippines, anywhere. And a goal was scored, half the people would cheer for their team. A goal was scored for the other team, the other half would cheer. It's crazy.
So let's get right into this. And also in the U.S., we should also show the other side of it. People, they're like ready for the Super Bowl. It's like the big holiday event here in the U.S. But obviously, it's basically only the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this should answer this question already before we even go
very,
in.
Very true.
Here we go.
The Super Bowl can feel like the centre of the sporting universe. Between the weeks-long build-up, the flash bulbs which light up the stadium while the opening kickoff hangs in the air, and the world-famous recording artist who plays to an audience of millions.
True, the halftime show
The
is
event
huge.
has an aura of unquantifiable size. But just how does it compare with the World Cup?
This is a very
In
chill
America,
video.
it's enormous.
It's
Super
piano
Bowl
in the background.
56, which saw the Los Angeles Rams defeat the Cincinnati Bengals, was relatively unremarkable in viewership terms. And yet, across the various broadcasting platforms, the game totaled a viewership in excess of 112 million. That represents
Which is pretty crazy because that's almost a third of the U.S. population.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a rise on the previous year, but it was still significantly short of the 172 million viewers attracted by Super
like
Bowl
half.
51. In which
Wow.
the New England Patriots enacted a stunning comeback against the Atlanta Falcons.
Rip.
But 2022 still described the event's penetration. According to Nielsen data published by NFL.com, 90% of all people using a television in the United States during the event on February the 13th, 2022 were watching Super Bowl 56.
What?
Wow.
So while it has its ups and
90%?
downs, the Super Bowl dominates its market. By adjusting its estimates to include different sized viewing parties, Nielsen calculated that roughly 208 million people watched the most recent Super Bowl, a
Wow.
figure roughly two-thirds the size of the United States population.
That's
But while
insane.
that describes its local presence and doesn't incorporate the between 30 to 50 million viewers who watched from outside the US, expressing that viewership as a percentage of the global population of 8 billion provides important
Yeah.
context.
30 to 50 is actually more than I expected.
Yeah, that's like a decent sized country.
I bet there's a few million from Canada.
A good chunk of that is from Canada. But
'Cause
Europe's
Canada only has 30 mil.
UK specifically is surging popularity with NFL because they're doing all their London games.
Mexico's probably got a decent chunk. They do games in Mexico now,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
And Mexico's a huge country. Interesting.
And also shows that the World Cup is on an entirely different scale. In 2018, 3.6 billion people
That's
watched the
insane.
tournament. Across the
Wow.
64 games played in Russia, the average per-match television audience was 194 million.
Wow.
Essentially, on a viewership basis alone, that equates to 64 Super Bowls within a month. According to FIFA's estimates, the total audience across all games and ceremonies in 2022 is expected to rise significantly and exceed 5 billion. That would be greater than the 3.6 billion who watched the 2012 Olympic Games in London, or the 3.2 who tuned in to watch the Rio Games 4 years later. But the final itself has a staggeringly high audience, and as a
I wanna see
single
this.
one-off game is really the only direct comparison with the Super Bowl. In 2010, 909.6 million people worldwide watched Spain beat the Netherlands. an audience more than 14 times the size of the two countries' collective population.
That's
In
insane.
2014, that figure rose again, with 1.01 billion viewers tuning in to see Germany defeat Argentina after extra time. And that number grew further in 2018, with 1.1 billion people across the world seeing France defeat Croatia in Russia. It's an upward trend which captures the growth of the event, but also the tournament's truly global nature and the final's imperviousness to the identity or size of the countries taking part.
It's pretty insane.
In that regard, it's a spectacle and an event without comparison. If you like,
I want to know, like, the actual, like, if you do know these numbers, let me know, like, how many of those people are from Europe and South America compared to everywhere else.
And also I want to just know, like, how many people laid eyes on a game of the World Cup playing at some point during the whole tournament, because I bet you that number has got to be insane, of just like walking by and there's a game playing somewhere and you like looked at it. I got to imagine that's pretty close to like 70%.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a huge section of the population. I'm so curious. I don't know, like, we've never been in like India during the World Cup or anything like that. Like, I'm curious if like in every restaurant in India they have the World Cup playing and stuff like that, because like a country like that is so big, or China, something like that, because I mean, they're right there. That is a huge chunk of the world's population.
Yeah, and that typically isn't super well associated with football, both of them.
I don't know. Let us know if you have any more information down in the comments below. Like, I'd really like to know, like, the amount of people that watch it from Europe and South America specifically, because those seems like the big daddies of the people who love the World Cup.
Yeah, so let us know more about that, and I'm sure you can bash football all you want, and all the football fans can bash football, and all the other football fans will bash football.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Let us know if there's some cool football videos we can check out from either side in the comments below.
Even specific players. We've reacted to a few player videos, and let us know some players we can check out highlights of.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.